Semen retention awakens your manhood. It awakens your true manhood. I need you to understand something. Society does not want men to be the best that they can be. They just don't. Okay. And the reason why is because once we start to awaken to our manhood, we start to awaken to our true leadership skills. And we start to lead society on a better path. You start to live a higher quality of life. You start to become successful. You start to win in life. And so first thing you might be asking is, okay, what's wrong with that? Why I can't lead, win in life, and still have these lustful desires? Because the lustful desires is what's stopping you from reaching your fullest potential. Lust is the lowest energetic frequency. It attracts all the lower energetic entities, right? If you only think in a physical sense, then you're not going to fully understand this message. There's no point of you watching this video. You can actually click out. But if you are willing to hear me out and go a little bit deeper, a little bit more than what meets the eye, a little bit more than the veil, going beyond just what you see, then you'll start to recognize that there are demonic parasites, whatever you want to call them, that are attracted to the energy of scarcity, of lust. Because when you operate from that energy, it's one of the lowest energies that you can operate from. I didn't make the rules, but I've seen both sides, so it's true. I know what it's like to operate from lust. When pornography is ruining your life. When sleeping with women is all you can think of. I know what it's like to defeat those thoughts, to go above that, to evolve past that. And I've seen a higher quality of life. A life that they don't want men to reach. That's why they push the pornography. That's why they push OnlyFans. That's why they push what they push on the internet. We already know it. That I know you know. I know that you know that they're after you in that way. But we fall for it time and time again because we haven't built the mental strength or the mental discipline to understand the simple truth that semen retention is our gateway to freedom. Semen retention is our gateway to true manhood. And a lot of people don't understand this. A lot of people don't think that it's serious. A lot of people don't take it serious because a lot of people are stuck in their lustful desires. They're stuck in their lustful ways, and they actually have built some sort of relationship with that. And they don't want to give that up because giving that up will feel like they're giving up a piece of them. And they want to fall for those desires because they want the feeling that it gives them. But that feeling is only a temporary band-aid. It's not real. It's part of the illusion. There's something much deeper going on, something much scarier going on from a spiritual sense, from an esoteric sense, from even a religious sense. Demons are real. And they begin as thought forms. Think of your mind as a magnet. You can attract these demons through the thoughts that you have. So when you have lustful thoughts and lustful desires, parasitic demons will attach onto you, onto your energy, onto your aura, onto your field. Everyone carries an energetic field. This is a scientific fact. They attach onto that because they love that. It's like honey to them. And they stick to you and they eat at you. And then you wonder why it's hard for you to break free. Well, you're not just breaking free from this physical sense, this world where it's just your senses, visual senses, and then you're trying not to look at it. Like, that's one level. Because you've been so addicted for so long, you're actually trying to break free from demons. And that's a little bit harder to do. That takes a little bit more time. I'm going to share with you a technique that has absolutely transformed my life and the people that have joined my program, the Chosen Ones' lives. And it's the power of going above thinking, going above your thoughts. Why is this important? When you believe that you are your thoughts, it means that you will also believe that you are your lust, that you can't break free from it, that it will always be a problem, that it will always be there. However, there is a solution, and it's making sure that you have power over your thinking, that you have power over your thoughts. I'm going to ask you a question. Do your thoughts have power over you, or do you have power over your thoughts? For most people, their thoughts have power over them, and that's why they think that they are their thoughts. That's why they battle with these thought forms, and those negative thought forms, those low vibrational thought forms, the lowest energy that you could be vibrating on, those thought forms attract those levels of entities, right? People do have angels with them. People who have angels with them, they're building a relationship with God. They're focused on the light. They're focused on defeating things like this. When you continue to be lustful, you're worshiping a certain side. I need you to understand that. You have to evolve past that. It's okay to be where you're at right now, but it's not okay to stay there. We all start from somewhere. I was not perfect. You aren't perfect. But this technique that I'm sharing, going above your thoughts, allows you to choose the thoughts that you want to honor. I had a consultation with somebody. He paid $300 for me to tell you what I'm telling you right now, for me to tell him what I'm telling you right now. And there's so much more game, but I'm giving this piece of game away because you need to know it. It's a great start. And what I told this brother who was on the consultation call with me, who was battling lust, and he's in a much better place now, was that you can choose the thoughts that you honor. You don't have to honor every thought that enters your mind. So when you have a thought form that enters your mind and says, watch pornography, you don't have to do that. You don't have to honor that. You choose what you want to honor. You choose the thoughts that you want to act on. Every action that we take first begins with a thought form. I wanted to come outside today and I wanted to film this video. I wanted to come outside and film this video for you guys today. It first began as a thought. I was in my house and I said, I need to go outside. I need to find a place to record, and I need to make this video today because it was on my heart. And I chose to honor that thought. And that's the only reason why you're watching this video right now, because I honored that. You don't think that there were other thoughts that entered my mind, that entered my space? Oh, you could just sit down. Oh, you don't have to record that today. You already recorded videos this morning, which I did, right? The mind will always find a way to trick the spirit to do its bidding. The mind will always find a way to trick the spirit to do the flesh's bidding. You have to overcome the flesh. You have to kill the flesh. You have to go above thinking. You have to go above the mind. That is going to help you to overcome pornography. And once you're able to overcome pornography, then you're able to take it to the next step. Once you begin to overcome that day in and day out, you'll then begin this journey that we call semen retention. Okay, it's getting real. It's getting real. All right, if you made it up to this point of the video, comment the word below, retain, retain, retain. At a certain point, you're going to be very, very, very energetic, man. You're going to feel good because you're going to feel on top of the world. You're the one in charge now. The lust is no longer in the driver's seat. The flesh is no longer in the driver's seat. The parasites are no longer in the driver's seat. The demons are no longer in the driver's seat. Your thought forms are no longer in the driver's seat. You are in the driver's seat. You are the observer, and you get to make the decisions. Okay. Once you do that, I need you to understand that spiritually, you just raised your consciousness to another level. Welcome to the club, where you are now the observer of your thoughts, and you are no longer your thoughts. Some people still think that they are their thoughts. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. I need you to understand that your mind is a tool. Your mind is simply a vessel. It is not who you truly are. You are the energy, the observer, and the spirit behind the human flesh, which means that you have power over the human flesh. This is how I fasted for 7 days. I don't say that as a flex. I did it for spiritual reasons. I did it so I can grow my relationship closer to the Creator. I did it to cleanse myself. I did it for a multitude of reasons. But I want you to understand this. We are stronger than we think. That's why we can fast. That's why we can do things, mind over matter, right? We can do things that seem impossible. I mean, that's why LeBron is still playing at 41 years old in the NBA. Okay, like I'm just giving an example. We're talking about longevity. You're talking about working hard. You're talking about putting yourself in a position where it is not easy, but it's possible to push your body to the limits. And so you're going to push yourself to overcome the pornography. And then what's going to happen is that you start to do semen retention. You start to retain. And because you're retaining, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be on a whole nother level energetically. You're not going to want to release. And once you keep holding on to your seed, what do you think that's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Your true leadership skills is going to start blossoming, right? The power that you have to overcome lust or anything like that is going to start blossoming. You're going to become more successful. You're going to become wiser. You're going to become more connected to the heavens above, because now you're worshiping the light. Now you're doing something different. You're not in the dark no more. You're not doing shit like that no more. You're evolving yourself. You're going above thinking. You're choosing higher valleys. You're choosing a higher way to live. This is what I speak about in the chosen ones. And with the chosen ones, I'm about to break down how fasting kills demonic parasites. We're about to go on a whole nother level with the chosen ones. I'm about to give y'all so much game. The chosen ones is where you go to break free from lust, men and women alike. It's time for us to retain our seed. It's time for us to hold on to our energy. And it's time for us to put this into practice. So if you want more videos like this, definitely check it out. It'll be the first link below. I need you guys to understand something. We are in control. We are. And we put ourselves in situations that we're not supposed to be in because we don't take it seriously until it's too late. What do I mean by that? You want to improve your life. You want a new job opportunity. You want to be successful. You want to have better financial health, but you're not in control of your sexual health. It's not going to happen for you as quickly as you think. It doesn't mean that you still can't be successful. There's a lot of people who are successful and they're very lustful, but they serve something else. I'm just going to keep it real. If you truly want to serve the light, you have to do things in a better way, a higher way. You get to choose the life that you want. I'm not passing judgment. I'm not going to say if it's right or wrong. If you want to live in lust, you can do that. You can. But this video is for people who are ready to break free from that and evolve past that. Higher levels means higher energy, means higher frequency, means quicker results, means a better life, in my opinion. But scientifically, it's a fact that you operate from higher levels. You start to get the things that you want in life quicker. So when you're on semen retention, you become more attractive. That's a fact, because you become more magnetic, because your aura is being cleansed, because your energy is being cleansed, because you no longer have demonic parasites holding on to you. But now you have angels around you. Now you are a child of the light and people can see that. Now your skin is like super clear, right? And I'm telling you, man, you can't lie about it. It's the truth. You can't fake your way. You can't just say, hey, I'm on semen retention. Like, people who are really on semen retention, we can tell who's really on semen retention. Not on no weird stuff, but we can tell when a man is about his business, when he's locked in, when he's on his purpose. Purpose. I know you saw the name of this channel. What does it mean to be purpose driven? It means that nothing else is in the driver's seat other than your purpose. And that's a fact. That's how it should be. I need you to understand something, right? When we talk about the creator, when we talk about God, God created you for a purpose. God created you with a purpose. Your purpose comes first on this earth. You are here for a limited time, which means that you are here for a task. I want you to look up the definition of being born and then to go to the noun or the adjective. One of those things will say very skilled at a particular task or job. That's what it means to be born. The simple fact that you are born, I need you to understand that you were born with gifts, that you were born with talents. And I may not know what that is, but you do. And this lust, that's stopping you from going where you want to go. That's stopping you from evolving where you want to evolve. That's stopping you from actually reaching the levels of success that you want to reach. It's stopping you from reaching your goals. That's a fact. I don't care what you think. You're supposed to be further in life right now, but you're not because you stuck. What's up? You're not because you stuck on stupid. You're not because you stuck on the negatives. You're not because you stuck on the lower vibration. You have to break free from that so you can see what God has in store for you. It's real, man. Like when I was battling lust, man, I wasn't on my purpose. You just don't have the time for that because all you want to do is hang around women. And let's get something straight. I'm not here to shame anybody for wanting to be around women. Women are beautiful. Can we admit that? We know that. They're a representation of God as well. They're God's creation as well. They're God's children as well. Are God's children supposed to be ugly? Nah, as men, we handsome. You know what I'm saying? We take care of ourselves. We look good. We on our purpose. We're successful. We're doing great things in this world as we should be. And women, they beautiful. But you have to have self-control in this life. Too much of anything is a negative. Too much of anything is a bad thing. Too much good can be bad. We live in a world of balance. We're human. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. This journey is not about perfection. If I told you that you need to be perfect or that your semen retention journey needs to be 100 days and you haven't, busted, like that's not fair for somebody that is a recovering addict, right? We have to be honest about where we're at. I don't always like labels, but labels tell the story. So if you're a recovering addict, I'm not expecting perfection from you, but I'm expecting progression and I'm expecting some sort of investment. It doesn't have to be with the chosen ones, but investing in yourself to learn more about this type of information. You watching this video right now, you have invested in yourself because you can't get your time back. And that's more valuable than money. So I thank you for watching this video. Again, if you watched up to this point, type the word retain. Type the word retain so I can heart your message and show love. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this video, something that's high vibrational, something that's made with love and good energy and pure intentions, because I want to see y'all win, man. And I get emotional thinking about it because a lot of our men, a lot of our brothers that's supposed to be successful, they're not reaching the heights that they're supposed to reach because they're stuck playing down here, but they're destined for so much more. And listen, like I said, we all start somewhere. We all start down here. We don't know no better, but when you know better, you have to do better. You have to do better. And that's why I created the chosen ones, because I want to see people do better. And I want you to know that you are a chosen one. You are God's child. And because you are God's child, you are chosen. It's that simple. Once you know whose you are, and once you know who you're connected to, and once you realize that the Spirit of God dwells within you, at a certain point, you got to move different. You got to think different. You got to feel different about the things that you're doing. Lust is not something that you should be battling your whole life with, but it is a war. And men, no matter who they are, even when you look in scripture, kings battled with lust as well. It doesn't go away. It doesn't. But once you become higher, once you raise your consciousness, once you raise your awareness, once you start doing the inner work, once you go above thinking, you start winning these battles more and more and more. And it'll come a day. It'll come a day where you can really win the war. I have. And I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't think that day was gonna come. But I did the inner work. I put the work in. You can too. Semen retention is a gateway to your true manhood. What do I really mean by that? Your manhood is being suppressed by lower levels of thinking, by lower ways of living. You actually don't know how powerful you are because your essence is operating from a low energy, a low frequency. Your essence is operating with demons. Your essence is operating with parasites. What happens when your essence starts operating with the heavens, with the cosmos, with the angels? with the guardian angels, with the right people, with the right energy, you eating the right foods, you being in the right places, you fasting, you going above thinking, you investing in information, in books and learning. Think about where your essence goes then. Nothing can touch you. The more you lock in with the higher energies, the more God-like you become, because the Spirit of God is able to inhabit your vessel more than it is right now. The Creator said it himself. He said, do you not know that the Spirit of God dwells within you? So your next question should be, well, how can I be the best vessel that I can be in order for the Spirit of God to inhabit me fully and for me to live a life that is God-like? When I want something, I'm able to work for it, not make excuses and go out there and get it. I'm locked in on something, I'm able to make it happen. How do you actually do that? You got to do the inner work. You got to do what we're talking about right now. You got to lock in. You have to focus. You have to vibrate higher. It's important for us to take care of our vessel. This world does everything that it can to make us a weaker vessel. Think about it. It pushes the pornography. It pushes the nasty stuff. It's doing all that it can to stop us from our true manhood. Our manhood is next to Godhood. True manhood is next to Godhood. A man that's able to protect himself. Because if you can't protect yourself, how can you protect others? You have to protect yourself from the parasites. You got to protect yourself from the lust. You got to protect yourself from the lower frequencies. You have to protect yourself from the lower energies. If you can't protect yourself, you're neglecting yourself. And you won't be able to protect anybody else. How can you ensure anybody else's safety as a man if you can't even ensure your own? We're not just talking about safety in a physical sense, brother. We're talking about safety from a spiritual sense. That matters more. The spiritual world matters more than the physical world. Of course, we're human as well. We're not just spiritual beings. So we need to have a balance. So yeah, you can stay safe by carrying around a weapon, but you can also stay safe by carrying around a weapon. Your mind, your energy, your aura. And you become so bright on semen retention. Not only do you attract, but you also repel. You heard what I just said? Not only do you attract the right people, the right energy, the right conversation, the right places, the right women, the right friends, the right brothers in your life, but you also repel the wrong ones. Yeah. You start to repel that naturally. Those things don't pop up no more. Those things don't come to you no more. Those things don't align with you no more because you're on a different frequency. You're on a different wavelength. You're on a different energy, my guy. You're on a different energy. You're on a different energy. I want you to win. I don't want you to lose. There's a lot of losers in this world, and it's not because they don't have potential. It's not because they're not God's child. It's not because they're not great. It's because they don't recognize their greatness. They don't recognize how great they are. They don't recognize how great they can be. And they're only seeing with these two eyes right here. But we walk by faith, not by sight. It's time for you to close your eyes, feel your spirit, and be in charge of the lust that has been ruining your life, controlling your life at the very least. Why would you want to be controlled when you're supposed to be in control? Why would you want to be controlled when you're supposed to be in the driver's seat? When you're supposed to be on the front line? This is your world. And you got a lot of demons living in it. And when I say demons, I mean negative thought forms and negative entities that make it harder for you to be the best version of yourself. So they give you more thoughts, more negative thoughts. And then you act on them. And then it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. At a certain point, we have to stop. We wonder why we have so many people in this world, especially when we're talking about the elite, that are going on private islands and doing very, very dirty, nasty, evil, wicked things. It's beyond sexual fun. It's beyond playful energy. It's beyond all of that. It's horrible. It's demonic. What if I told you that they started right where you were? And I know that you think that you've drawn a line somewhere in some imaginary sand. They probably thought they did too. It gets worse. It gets more perverted. The pornography that you watch becomes harder. It becomes worser. And it begins to get more and more wicked. Be very careful of the path that you're walking. You are on a slippery slope, my friend, and I'm very concerned. I'm not just a YouTuber. I'm not just an entrepreneur that makes services to help people. Like, those are great titles. Those are great things. I'm consciousness, giving you a warning. What is consciousness? That's what we all come from. We are all consciousness. I'm here to wake you up from the life that you are living. I'm your brother. I'm your friend. And I know I'm on the internet, and I know it's hard to trust some guy that's just standing in the middle of a forest. I get it. That's why everything is energy. You have to hear my words. You have to hear how real I am, how authentic, how sincere I am. I mean it. I fucking mean it. You got to solve this. And one of the hardest things that we can do is solving difficult things on our own. Again, that's why I made that's why I made the program. And that's why I made the product, The Chosen Ones. Every week you get videos that will help you on your journey. And once a month we have a Q&A where you're able to talk to me one-on-one about what you're facing. People in that Q&A, they may ask anything. You know, people ask about creation, content creation. People ask about lust. People ask about whatever it is that they personally need help with. So when you're in there, it is a group. It's a Q&A. But you can ask me anything. All right, I'm here to help. I love y'all so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching, man. God bless you. Let's defeat this thing, man. Okay?